打开中国版世界地图，以地图的垂直分割线，就是东经150度线和赤道画两条垂直的交叉线，距离交叉点最近的陆地，这个在我们看起来像世界中心的地方叫做新几内亚岛。这个可能很多人都没听说过的岛，其实是仅次于格陵兰岛的世界第2大岛。岛上呢分为2个国家，西边是亚洲的印度尼西亚，东边是大洋洲的巴布亚新几内亚。可能又有很多人没听说过巴布亚新几内亚这个国家了。其实啊，它在独立之后的第2年，也就是1976年，就与我们中国建交了。应巴布亚新几内亚莫尔兹比港首都特别行政区的邀请呢，越玩越野来到了这个大洋洲国家，参加巴布亚新几内亚独立日庆典。今年的9月16日是巴新的第48个独立日，为此呢，巴新首都特区举办了盛大的庆典仪式来纪念这个节日。从9月15日踏上巴新的那一刻起啊，我就感受到了浓浓的节日氛围和当地人超强的民族自豪感。从机场出发到酒店，沿路上可以随处看到飘动的国旗。巴新的国旗左下角是黑色，上边的5颗星星呢象征南十字星啊，表明巴新位于南半球。右上角是红色，里边有一只巴新的国鸟，叫极乐鸟。传统印象里啊，我会把独立日和国庆节看成同一种节日，但巴新的独立日庆典在我看来更像一个把阅兵仪式和晚会融为一体的综合性庆典。为什么这么说呢？跟我们的国庆节一样，巴新独立日早上6点也会在议会大厦旁边举行升旗仪式。9月16日的凌晨4点半，我们就从酒店出发，前往独立日庆典的第一个地点——议会大厦。从名称就可以看出来啊，议会大厦的地位其实就相当于我们北京的人民大会堂，而议会大厦旁边这个立着旗杆的广场啊，地位就相当于天安门前的大广场了。不同的是啊，5星红旗每天升降一次，这个国旗呢是每年升降一次。升旗结束之后啊，就是游行和阅兵了，跟想象中啊确实不同。首先登场的并不是军队方阵啊，而是由社会团体，比如学校、医生、工程人员组成的这种方队啊。前排呢还会有这个行业的先驱或者是占有重要地位的人物的照片，表达对各行各业的尊重。紧随其后的才是陆军的步兵战车，以及由海陆空3军和警察组成的方阵。气势这一块明显要比前边的队伍更强。再往后就是2个当地部落的小方阵了啊，但是啊再往后就没有了。当天的游行大概就这样结束了。那这里必须要画一个重点啊，举行游行和阅兵仪式的场地是议会大厦前的这条独立大道，这是一条由中国援建的公路，全长1.06公里，双向6车道，是巴新国内设计标准等级最高的公路。对于巴新首都莫尔兹比港与中国的关系，莫尔兹比港国家首都特别行政区总督啊跟我们说
What I want to say is that PNG and China, we have a long tradition and history. Our connection, I believe, has been in existence perhaps around the 12th or 13th century, well before European contact with this part of the world. And since colonial time, it's been the Chinese workers who have come in, taken in by the European colonizers who have, worked on the economy here and built our country. They've been part and parcel of our history, and they are still here post-independence. They are still here, and they are dynamic part of our country. So we have a strong connection with China, and we value that connection. And in my time as governor now, I am enhancing that connection. So we have done it in a number of ways. We have a number of exchange with the city of Guangzhou. We have exchange in terms of exchanging birds and animals with the zoo in Guangzhou. We have exchanged, for example, with our national bird, which is the bird of paradise, and also the tree kangaroo, which is unique to PNG, not in this island of New Guinea. Not many parts of the world have this tree kangaroo. So we have done this exchange. And then secondly, we have we have entered into a sister city relationship with the city of Shenzhen. I signed that agreement with the mayor of Shenzhen in 2016. And since that time, we have a lot of exchange. We have together built this PNG China Friendship Academy, which is called Butuka Academy. That was sponsored by our friends from Shenzhen. It's now a 3-in-1 school. It's got elementary to primary to secondary, and it's also teaching Mandarin. So we want to enhance that. And since we opened that school, we're able to, get a lot of visitors, prominent visitors from China, including the President Xi himself. He came and opened the school in 2018, so that's absolute privilege for us. And then we have had the foreign minister recently come, and the roving ambassador for the Pacific, Chinese roving ambassador. And recently we had the education minister, the national education minister from China to come. So more importantly for the road construction in the city. And also we have a China Steel Corporation. They came and built the schools. And now they're expanding out. So this small initiative eventually is becoming a strong foundation to build a good, relationship politically, education, cultural, sports, so many level of exchange that is taking place. And now I want to take it to tourism. Yeah. So I've had a strong, good discussion this year with the governor of Guangdong province. So I will be going to Guangzhou soon to do a presentation, and hopefully we will have an airline like Shenzhen Airline or China Southern Airlines or China Eastern Airlines flying direct Guangzhou or Shenzhen to Port Moresby and back, because PNG is, the last frontier. There's, I think everybody has seen the world. We have seen Africa, we have seen South America, we have seen Europe, we have seen North America, but Chinese people haven't seen Papua New Guinea yet. Unless you see Papua New Guinea, you have not seen the world. Yeah. So I'm very excited about this development, and to me, I see there's a strategic partnership. It's a win-win because it benefits China, it benefits PNG, it benefits our region, and this is a relationship that has been there for a long time, but we have to lift it to another level.
其实活动到了这里啊，我是有点失望的。原以为最期待的部落表演呢，会在后面的游行队伍之后接踵而至啊，但是偏偏上午的活动就这么结束了。问了工作人员才知道，下午的重点才是部落表演。之所以没有在独立大道举行部落表演，是因为这条路偏长啊，不是那种中央舞台式的那种结构，并不适合表演。下午快到表演场地时候就开始堵车了，这个在几乎没有早晚高峰的莫尔兹比港是比较罕见的。说到这儿要多说几句啊，当地虽然车不多，但是对交通规则的尊重超乎想象啊！车要进入环岛或者进入主路的时候，必然会停下来等来车方向无车之后，确认安全才会驶入。而驶出环岛和直行的车辆呢，也根本不需要担心会有车影响你的正常行驶。来到巴新好几天，还是头一次见到这么多人啊！一个平时呢作为军营的场地，在我们来的时候啊，人山人海。比起上午的仪式，下午的活动啊，显然是更有吸引力啊！看来当地人跟我们一样，也更加喜欢部落表演。毕竟啊，巴新有超过1000个部落，800多种语言，占世界部落语言的1/3，妥妥的人类语言宝库。如此多的部落啊，再加上语言不尽相同啊，即使对巴新特别熟悉的本地人，恐怕也不见得能说出多少部落名。当然啊，也有一些部落会有共同点，比如巴新国徽上的这个皮鼓，在不少的部落表演中啊都会用到啊，这也是他们一个共同的乐器之一。整个场地外围1/4的部分啊，是各个参演部落的休息室。说是休息室啊，但是非常简陋啊，就是用细木桩搭了一个框架，然后呢，棚顶有棕榈树的叶子覆盖，面积可能也就10来平。这个棚子啊，还兼具化妆间和休息室的功能。每个要表演的部落啊，都会在里边休息换装。上舞台之前呢，还会有一些部落呢，在小棚子门口先来一场舞蹈啊，毕竟没有舞台边缘的束缚和众人的注视，也算是为一会儿的表演热个身。那这么多的部落，一个挨一个，你可以很明显的看出他们之间的区别。有的部落会选择草、树叶还有麻这些植物来装饰自己，那有的部落会选择皮毛、羽毛还有贝壳这些来自动物的材料来装饰自己。颜色方面也是各式各样，有的部落会模仿极乐鸟的配色，那在脸上画上彩绘；有的部落呢则会把躯干、头部的皮肤涂得更黑，彰显自己孔武有力。来自东部岛屿的阿萨罗人呢，就会把全身涂白，头上还戴着奇怪的泥质头盔。传说这个是他们当年吓跑敌人的时候的装束，所以呢就一直流传下来了。更多的是一些不知道名字的部落啊，但是他们好像看起来都非常有这个舞蹈天赋和音乐细胞，几乎可以跟音乐完美的配合起来进行表演。巴新人的乐器除了看起来十分像乐器的这个木鼓之外， 还有来自布干维尔自治区的竹制乐器。虽然直译过来我不知道它应该叫什么，但结构并不算复杂，就是由一排由长到短、粗细相近的竹筒组成啊，依靠不知道从哪儿捡来的拖鞋底子啊，快速抽打筒口就可以发出好听的音律。这种乐器好像上手难度不大，7、8岁的儿童掌握了节奏啊，也能在现场表演。这个表演还是唱打结合的，就是打击乐呢由男子负责，女子会在旁边吟唱，现场的这个观感还是非常好的。那更离谱的呢还有油桶。反正只要是能捡来当乐器的家伙啊，这玩意儿都能给它废物再利用。独立日庆典的部落表演其实更像一个展示文化的国家级的博物馆。来到这儿呢，你就不需要再去往巴新全国600多个岛屿去奔波了，就能看到大部分的知名的和有特色的表演。所以如果你对部落文化感兴趣，这个节日是一定不要错过的。今年是巴新第48届独立日，那这样大的庆典是怎么组织起来的呢？我们也采访了一下莫尔兹比港首都特区精彩墨港的项目负责人。
So what I would say is that in order for something to be successful, it starts with an idea, right? And that idea, because we are living in a city that is, that have corporates, investors, people, public servants, NGOs, diplomatic mission. So what we want to do is we want to create events that is for everybody. Okay, so we know that different people look for different things, but there's one main theme, which is the independence, which is really talking about the people and their country and how they are celebrating basically, their autonomy, their freedom, basically, right? So what we did is we want to make all of our events inclusive. We want to make sure that the young people have a little bit of a hip-hop, artistic type, modern performances. We want to make sure that there's enough cultural and traditional things so that we savor and we preserve the culture and the tradition. And we also don't want people to forget how beautiful and unique each provinces are. And they're all living in this city. And so we want to make it into sort of that you don't have to travel to all over the country, but you can stay here and you can see everything. At the same time, we make sure that the events are in different locations so that we cater for the purpose for the people in the northeast of Port Moresby, we cater for the people in the northwest of Port Moresby, and we cater for the people of Moresby South. So we wanted to make sure that the whole planning started to make events inclusive, to make events accessible, to make events free. So people from a variety of people can come. And we also wanted to make it, of course, we had a very strict operating procedure where we wanted it to be safe because, when too many people come together, there could be a multitude of problems, right? So it started out with very efficient planning. It took us about, since this beginning of the year to plan the entire event properly. And this year we added on the Independence Parade because we are preparing for our 50th Jubilee anniversary of 50th independence. So we wanted to introduce something new. So the Amazing Port Moresby, when we first started about 5 years ago, it was only just the Unity Walk and one venue. And then we realized everybody in the city came to one venue. And then in the second year, we started something new. And now, 5 years, 6 years now, we realize that, wow, we're doing a good job and we are getting support from the leaders and giving us more money, and we are coordinating it really well. And so one of the success that really actually made this possible was, number one is we had a leadership, a visionary man who knows that he can achieve his priorities and his goals very quickly through organizing big events that is well planned. So then immediately people feel safe, immediately people feel good. And when people feel good, they act good. And when people are happy, everybody around them becomes happy, right? So you are creating a kind of like a mindset or a mindset and a behavior that we want to make everyone happy, so that automatically eradicates abuse or violence and those kind of things. And then we also want the city to be clean, to be hygienic, to when we serve food in the stalls that it is nicely looked after. So we are involving all the multitude of people. So good leadership, really good planning, and of course, a sort of a good coordinator, like a shaper, plant, and then we have very good people on the ground who are implementing it, and then we have support and collaboration from the national government, the non-governmental agencies, the public servants, from the corporates, from the schools, from the health sector, from the church sector, from the uniform body sector. So it's just like, you know, it's just really amazing. So what happened is a collaborative effort from everybody. But I do believe that a well-organized event.
除了来自全国的部落表演之外，巴新首都还有议会大厦、国家博物馆和莫尔兹比港的自然公园值得一去。议会大厦建于1984年，但是它的设计特别独特，所以你现在也看不出它的年代感。如果你对议会制感兴趣啊，普通民众呢也可以通过预约进入议会大厦参观。但是啊，议会大厦里边不能拍照。议会大厦的旁边就是巴新的国家博物馆，展示面积并不算大，主要内容是巴新的历史文物和部落文物。如果你对部落文化感兴趣，或者说你想跟表演的时候的那些部落展示互相印证，那么是一个不错的去处。当然，我最感兴趣的还是自然公园，这里可以看到巴新的国鸟极乐鸟，以及巴新和周边国家特有的一种动物树袋鼠。极乐鸟的体型不大，但是羽毛非常漂亮。到了求偶的季节，雄鸟会把自己的羽毛完全展开，并且在雌鸟面前进行展示。我相信应该很多朋友都看过。除了极乐鸟之外啊，我觉得维多利亚凤冠鸽也非常漂亮，它们的羽毛是蓝紫相间的，头顶呢有一个非常漂亮的羽毛凤冠，体长大概有70厘米，据说是世界上最大的鸽子。休息的时候身体呢会倒向一边，离地更近的那边翅膀呢会作为支撑，以至于我看到一只地上躺着休息的凤冠鸽啊，我还以为它受伤了。除了以上地点，还有什么有意思的地方可以去呢？巴新国家旅游局局长说
Pinch is a beautiful country. I can't really say that, you know, one province is better than the other. But of course, there are issues within ourselves that we understand. Apart from Port Moresby, we have provinces like East New Britain, Rabaul, very beautiful, culturally diverse too as well. We also have in the islands like Goroka and the Goroka Shore. We also have Milne Bay and Alatau. And we also have the islands like Manus and Isipik with exotic cultures. So every province is very unique in its own. For me to say that go to this one only, it will be injustice on my part. But those, I think, 3 or 4 provinces that I've mentioned, that's where all the traffic and the interest of the tourists are generally high. And that's what we regard them to, you know, if they wish to go, then these other provinces like Rabaul, Kevieng, Kimbe for diving, Goroka for Goroka Shore, Milne Bay. All these are beautiful places, even including Madang, Leh. So I can't be really specific in one. We have a calendar of events where specific events around the country are placed into a calendar. And that calendar of events is usually launched at the beginning of every year by our sister agency called National Cultural Commission. So that calendar of events basically puts or highlights every cultural events that will take place around the country. So those events are there. It's, I think, available in our website too as well, or on our website too as well. So you can see those events and the cultural activities that will happen. Usually it starts around August, mostly. But then some events take place earlier on, probably in March or May or April, depending on the organization. But those, they're unique cultural events and activities of their own. And depending on where NCC, the National Cultural Commission, places them, we don't control those event dates, but we work with NCC, and whatever dates that they confirm becomes the calendar that is reflected. So we market and promote. So we have that calendar available. We can make it available for.
据我们了解，未来的第49届和第50届的独立日庆典呢，要会更加精彩。如果你对部落文化特别感兴趣，那么巴新的独立日庆典你一定不要错过，